Last day of Yule, first day of 2026, the Gregorian calendar, right? We won't get into that. Every day is New Year because it's a year from a year ago. Every day is a new opportunity for us to align with our authentic spirit and with the creative consciousness flowing through us. We try so hard, I think, in a lot of things, and we can do less of that. Let's make 2026 the year of doing less and being more ourselves. What's up, Crunk Mike? So for the 12th day of Yule and the 12th day of streaming, I am starting a 31-day meditation challenge, a 31-day conscious relaxation challenge called Hypersleep Rest Recovery 2026. And there's two different definitions of hypersleep. And one is from the science fiction world, right? The science fiction world of like cryogenic sleep, right? Where we slow down the body functions and the time of the body actually slows down. The brain metabolism and the body metabolism go to such a kind of stable place of stasis but inertness that we don't gotta eat, we don't gotta, like, our breathing is really low, and and this is the scientific way to explain hypersleep. I mean, the science fiction way to explain hypersleep. And then there's actually, in reality, hypersleep is a diagnosable condition of being like not being able to sleep. So on the other side of the spectrum, where the mind is so busy, there's tension in the body, and the brain is so active that the body and brain can't get into rest, can't get into renewable rest, right? And so we're kind of holding these two opposites for this next month. The ability to consciously relax brings wonders into daily life, into our rest recovery, into our creative recovery. And creative recovery to me is about bringing a level of vitality to our authentic expression and recovering that which was most often disregarded in childhood. We are very imaginative, we're naturally artistic and creative when we're kids, and then the conditioning of society, parental conditioning, religious conditioning, peer conditioning, all sorts of these things can lead us into covering our authentic self up. Kind of having to, we say we have to put that aside and join the real world, right? I know a lot of us artists have heard this. And so creative recovery is about unshadowing and nourishing the creative inner child that's inside, the artist that is inside, the creator that we're meant to be, the extension of the creative consciousness of source itself. We're at the edge of the universe, evolving with every breath, with every step, with every choice. And we have the opportunity and responsibility to co-create the world that we want, the world that we desire to live in. And I know that the world that I desire to live in is one that's filled with art and nourishment and relaxation and connection, honesty, all of these things. I think so often we get taken out of ourselves and pushed into a sympathetic nervous response that then becomes normalized. And by sympathetic nervous response, I mean fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Right? We get to this place where we constantly feel like we have to fight for our place in the world. We have to fight to show up to work. We have to fight to do whatever. We're fighting in activism. We're fighting in everything, or we're fleeing, right? And then in some cases we freeze. We don't even know what to do, or we just submit, and that's fawning. We just submit to what's going on around us, knowing it's not necessarily authentic to us, and just letting others or the conditioning take over and push our authentic self even further away. And so the journey that we're on for the next 31 days with this hypersleep concept and this conscious relaxation challenge is to bring ourselves back home in a real way. Home in our body, home in our energy, home in our creativity. And we're going to do it through breath, meditation, and visualization. So really accessible practices that do take a little bit of focus, but they don't take any props. They don't take anything but just a little bit of time. And I'll keep getting into it as we go further. But I really want to spend these moments in practice, because the consistency of practice and the consistency of working with the different techniques is how we actually start to heal our nervous system. We switch and flip the switch from sympathetic to parasympathetic, and we actually can make a difference in our reality and start to bring back that authentic self in a powerful way. Powerful, but conscious, right? So today we're really gonna just work on how to breathe, and the different facets of the breath, and we're gonna experience the 3-part yogic breath. So in scientific terms, we'll go there. In scientific terms, there's a bunch of nerve endings in our lungs, and the different spots in the lungs, there's considered three chambers. The lower lobes, which is the main real estate for our breath. It's where we can expand, we flatten the diaphragm, we bring air down deep into the belly. There's a lot of nerve endings for the parasympathetic nervous response down there. And then there's the ribs, rib breath, the mid lungs. And there's a good amount of real estate there too, but not as much as the lower lobes. And then the upper chest and the neck and like the sinuses and nose. And so and there's not a lot of real estate up here, right? It's basically just like the collarbones can expand a tiny bit, the upper ribs can expand a tiny bit, but you can't really expand your neck and the esophagus, and like you can't really expand the airways that go down. So the prime real estate is actually connected to the diaphragm, the muscle that helps to expand and contract the lungs, right? Yeah, so limited, that chest breathing. And when we get anxious, when we get into a sympathetic nervous response, like many of us get stuck in, especially with the state of society and the state of the world as it is right now, we can get stuck in that chest and kind of like panting or almost hyperventilating because we're not getting enough air, but we don't notice it. And so what that does is it actually activates our sympathetic nervous response even more. and so we get more anxious, right? Yeah, so we're gonna work with the different sections so you can actually feel what I'm talking about, the real estate, the available space to bring the breath in the different sections, and then we're gonna bring them all together and see what it's like to spend 10 minutes really using the power of the diaphragm and the whole lungs to take deep, smooth breaths. Hi, Shoku. Yeah, I know you're whiny. I got cats in here, so you might hear some purring or some meowing, and that's fine. Let's start taking some deep belly breaths here, and we'll explore with the belly. So if you're in a chair, you can sit up on the edge of the chair, just a little bit away from the back of the chair, so you can hold like a taller spine. And if you need to lean back, that's okay too. Or if you want to lay down, that's always an option. And what we'll do is we'll just start drawing breath in through the nose, down the throat, down into the belly, and really like you're gonna fill the belly, like flattening the diaphragm, drawing it out, and pressing the navel out, expanding the belly. And then right when you get to where you feel the ribs start to expand, you'll stop. So just belly breathing. And then you can exhale by contracting the diaphragm. It domes up, starts to push the air out, and then pulling the navel to the spine at the bottom of the exhale so you completely empty out. And then again, drawing breath in the nose, expanding the belly, flattening the diaphragm. Then when you get to the ribs, stop. So we're keeping the mid chest and the upper chest static. And just keep going a few more times. Contracting, pulling the navel to the spine at the bottom of the exhale, and then again, expand the belly, draw the breath deep into the belly, just filling the belly. And feel how much breath lives in the lower lobes. And then exhale, contracting the diaphragm, the navel, pulling it towards the spine. Just a couple more. You may already start to feel a subtle shift in your energy, a subtle shift in your state of consciousness, helping you to relax, helping you to kind of calm down. Time slows down a little bit. So we'll let that go for now. And we'll come into the mid ribs. And if you can, if it's available, go ahead and like touch the ribs. Feel that area, right? And then do your best to just expand the rib cage. So keep the belly and the upper chest static now, and just expand the rib cage. You're not going to be able to pull a lot of breath in, but that's okay. That's the experiment. Feel what it's like just to breathe with the mid ribs, with the mid chest. Expanding the ribs out in all directions, then contracting them back together. And you can feel right? Might be half, might be even a third of what you can pull down into the belly. And keep going here. We'll take like 5 more breaths here. Try not to bring the breath any lower or any higher, just expanding at the ribs. feel that? Yeah, it makes me feel a little anxious too. And that's all right. We're going to get into the full deep breaths here soon, but we're going to spend just a little bit of time. Go ahead and let that breath go. And then you can feel in the upper chest, maybe right under the collarbones, and in the like pit of the neck, the upper chest, and just really hold the belly as still as you can, hold the ribs as still as you can, and do your best just to breathe into the upper chest now. And there's like, and it's okay that there's not, but it's just an experiment, right? We're only going to spend a little bit of time here, so just try to breathe into the collarbones, into the upper chest. And you can feel like me right away, I feel the sympathetic nervous system say, I'm here, I'm here. You know, where are we going? Where's the fight? Where do we got to run to? You know, you might even start to feel a little bit of adrenaline. Yeah. And the reason that happens is because when we are in fight or flight, we typically forget to breathe. And so the brain will secrete adrenaline, it'll secrete endorphins that actually gets us to like take deeper breaths. And then we have more energy, more prana, and we can actually do what we need to do in that state, right? But it's typically not most of us stay in that state instead of using it as a recognition to, whoa, 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 we got to calm down a little bit and let's get back into the deep belly breath. So now what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in 3 parts. So we'll breathe a deep breath in through the nostrils down and just fill the belly first as wide as you can. Then a short pause, then fill the mid chest, the ribs, and then fill the remainder up the upper chest, the collarbones. And then exhale in 1 breath, slowly all the way out from the chest, down through the ribs, and then last, the belly, and pulling the navel back to the spine a little bit, emptying out all the way. And then again, inhale 1 part, down into the belly, expanding, flattening the diaphragm. Then expanding the ribs. Then filling just the upper lungs. And then again, exhale, chest, mid-ribs, belly. A few more times like this, broken into the 3 parts. So fill in the belly first. Fill in the ribs. And fill in the upper chest. Then exhale 1 long, smooth exhale from top to bottom. Go ahead and take that a couple more times on your own. 3 parts, belly, mid-ribs, upper chest, and 1 smooth exhale. Now we'll go ahead and let that 3-part breath go. And now we're going to bring it all together. We're going to bring it all together, okay? So 1 fluid, smooth breath, but drawing air from the nostrils all the way down into the low belly. Then the mid lungs without a pause, then the upper lungs, and then a smooth, controlled exhale out. And go ahead and close your eyes if they're not already, if it feels comfortable, and continue with this three-part breath, but it's smooth now. No pauses, no stops. Maybe you can hold it in just for a moment, just a second at the top before you extend the exhale, smooth and calm. Just really focusing on the breath, breathing the air all the way down into the low belly, expanding the belly. Breathing from the belly, mid-chest, upper chest, and then exhaling upper chest, mid-ribs to the belly. And we'll keep going here for a few more minutes. Just being with the breath, big, full breaths. just let that breath go. Keep the eyes closed. And bring your awareness to the tip of the nose, the entrance of the nostrils. The breath may be a little deeper now. And that's okay. Just stay with the breath at the entrance of the nostrils. And feel your energy, feel how just a few minutes of this has changed your state. Maybe you feel a little more relaxed, a little more present. And you can go ahead and before you open your eyes, just sense the ground beneath you, the seat beneath you, and feel the gentle hug of gravity. Feel the body, the legs, the feet, the legs, the hips, the spine, the torso, the arms. You can wiggle the toes and the fingers. And you can bring yourself back into the space, open your eyes. You can move the arms a little bit more. Just gently, just moving the body how it wants to be moved. And just continue to notice your state. I really, really appreciate you joining me for this mini session. Maybe doing sessions like this all month long at 9 p.m. Pacific time. About 30 minutes is the goal. We might go a little over. We might go to 40 minutes. Maybe near the end we might go to like an hour or something, but it'll be suited for that when we get there. And just exploring different techniques for conscious relaxation through the breath, through meditation, and through visualization. And I'm Hyperspace Sky. Hyperspace Sky, right? Hyperspace to me is slow. It's that moment when everything slows down. And there's a common saying in a lot of different areas, especially the healing arena, where if you want to go fast, go slow. And that's what hyperspace is for me. It's a time when it's a state of mind when time stands still and we can really tune in. We can allow ourselves to deepen our awareness of our current state of consciousness, of energy, of body, of emotion, and we can start to actually work with what's present for us. Yeah, so I'm gonna sign off of this recording for now, and I'm gonna keep streaming. Though I'm gonna play some music next, an intuitive healing set, and I'm gonna stop the recording so I can post it to YouTube. And I hope that you come back tomorrow and as many days as you can. These recordings will be on YouTube at least by the next day, so that you can continue to visit them throughout the month of January. And yeah, welcome to Hyperspace. I will see you when then becomes now.